Is a postgrad needed to become successful? Hi, my name is Shatakshi. I'm an ex-BCG and of course a public policy advisor. I'm in this really beautiful location and I really wanted to actually shoot outside if I had to shoot, so that all of you get to experience the really cold but beautiful weather that is here in New Hampshire. So with that, let's directly jump into this video where we are talking about is a postgrad really needed to become successful in life? I think a lot of people get frustrated, anxious that Shatakshi, should I do an MBA? Shatakshi, should I not do an MBA? And should I do an MBA from outside or should I do an MBA from India? But what largely a lot of people really miss out on the fact is, are you doing an MBA because everyone else is doing an MBA? Or do you need a master's, MS or an MTech just because everyone else needs an MTech or an MS? And that's why I think, frankly, in true honesty, there is a need of soul searching, a need of figuring out what your goals are, right? So point number one, right, if I were to divide this video into two parts, point number one has to be around goals. And that's why I tell a lot of people that you cannot find or become the best version of your own self if you do not actually spend time with your own self, right? So point number one, figure out what are your goals, right? Because that goal will determine, do you need that postgrad, do you need that MBA, or do you need that MS, right? So that's step number one. Then step number two is, wow, it is now snowing from the tree that is behind me. Point number two is definitely around the kind of things that matter, right? I think there are three things largely that matter for you to achieve that goal. And let's be really honest and let's be really candid here. Point number one has to be around your undergraduate. You may hate it, you may love it, but the life is little unfair. If you are from IIT Delhi, if you are from St. Stephen's College, you will have certain advantages in life. I know of a acquaintance from St. Stephen's College who is a partner in McKinsey & Company New York office without an MBA. He joined as a business analyst and he climbed the ladder in McKinsey & Company without even doing an MBA or an MS. And once I had a coffee chat with him and he told me in his cohort of 20, only 2 people stayed and rest 18 wanted to do an MBA. He has a valid logic that why should I do an MBA when my goal, right? Remember, step number one was just to always become a partner at McKinsey & Company. And hence he never needed an MBA because his undergraduate was really very strong. Similarly, I know of someone who graduated from St. Stephen's almost 4, 5, 6 years junior to me. And she pivoted into social impact consulting very beautifully. And she has never done an MBA because that's what her goal was, right? So step number one is figure out what your goal is. And step number two is it depends what your undergrad status is. A lot of good undergrad schools are a great platform for you to actually help you reach the goal that you want to reach. And hence many a times masters and MBA may not be the best economic decision, right? Let's be honest, these degrees are actually costing millions of dollars, especially if you're doing an MBA from an Ivy League in US, right? So there has to be an economic benefit out of it. So that's point number one in terms of things that matter. What is your undergrad? Point number two is the entire education industry overall is changing, right? There are a lot of really quality edtech, right? I'm not talking about edtech firms, and you know which edtech firms I'm talking about, which are questioned, are they really creating a lot of value in your life or not? But for example, I've always maintained at Global Governance Initiative, we out and out through our alternative MBA program and through our fellowship program, help people pivot into management consulting, product management and public policy, right? And that's not just it. I'm sure there are multiple other avenues to GGI, which can help you. For example, if you want to venture into the world of technology, if you want to venture into the world of, let's say, creative thinking, there is masterclass.com where people actually legitimately teach you how to actually act or how to cook, right? So there are edtech firms out there. Why? Because all these legacy old historic education institutes have fallen short in terms of meeting the growing demand. India is a population where almost around 2 lakh people sit for CAT every year, and how many IMs can fulfill the need, or how many FMSs and SVJN can fulfill the need of those 2 lakh people? And I bet the top 1 percentile who get these education institutes, or 2 or 3 percentile, they are better people apart from these top 2, 3 percentile. And education edtech firms are actually trying to help them. Few of course are just minting in money, but few genuinely. For example, at GGI, it has always been our motto to not just mint money, provide value, solve a market failure, right? And I'm sure there are other entrepreneurs out there as well. And then point number 3 is, what is your potential, right? And that's really important. So step number 1, we said you set your goal. And step number 2, there are 3 things that matter in the step number 2. Number 1, what is your undergrad? Because many a times your undergrad could be sufficient in itself without needing an MBA or an MS or let's say other programs, right? And point number 2 in things that matter is, are there other edtech platforms which can help you fulfill your goal, right, without needing that really $1 million degree? And point number 3 is, what are your potential? Are you ready to pump it your all and give it all in, right? You could join a Harvard Business School and may come out as just a good student, and you may join Global Governance Initiative and still come out as a mediocre student, and hence your caliber really matters. Your caliber, your motivation, your persuasion, your tenacity really matters. And that's why I say that schools are not magic wand. Even I'll be extremely honest, at GGI is not a magic wand, right? GGI is a platform at which big consulting chairmen such as Rajat Gupta at McKinsey or BCG chairman Arun Maira, etc. have come and taught. But does the fact that they have actually taught would make you a consultant? Absolutely not, right? But more than 80% of people in GGI have been able to do that, largely because the kind of work ethic, the kind of ecosystem that we have crafted for people is up for success. But I know of rest over 10% of the people do not actually do the entire program disciplined manner. I cannot handhold them. Nobody can handhold you in your life. And that's why point number 3 becomes really important. You could be at HBS, you could be at St. Stephen's College, you could be at GGI, but if the motivation is in there, nobody can help you, right? I hope this video was very brutally honest. That's what I have always intended to put out in terms of my content to help. And if you like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all soon. Bye. Subscribe right now so that you get notified every time, every day, whenever I'm putting up my videos on career advancement, personal finance, and law.